Hey kids, Mr. and Fly here, hope you're well. Time for a bit of trumpet farkling today. Now I've had the old Street Triple R for just over 3 years now, and I've done a few mods to along the way. I'm one of those sort of people that likes to make changes to my bike, but I don't like to throw absolutely everything from the parts catalogues at them. I do like to stick, if I can, with original equipment manufacturers' bits and pieces. So in the case of Triumph, there are a few bits that they make for the bike, and I have added those onto the machine. So things like these anodised brake reservoirs, for example. I think they look much better than the plastic parts that come with the bike, and they're also much better, I think, than aftermarket ones that you can buy. There are companies that make aftermarket brake reservoirs for these, and they just don't look so good, I don't think. So I try and steer clear from those if I can, if there's the option to do that. So in this case, there's not much more really I can do to the Street Triple. I've already, as I say, done the anodised brake reservoirs. We've got the various bits of fairing on it, the belly pan. I've got the Triumph hugger. I've got the Triumph seat. And of course I've got the Arrow cans, which are Triumph branded as well. So although that's adding extra parts to it, to my mind it's still keeping it kind of factory, if you see what I mean. So the only other thing that I've been thinking about for a long time, whether I want to do or not, and I've held off until now, is to replace these things, the mirrors. Triumph do make a set of bar end mirrors for these, and I've kind of thought about adding them for a while. I'm not too sure whether I like them or not, but I think I've come to the conclusion that I do like them. One of the things that did put me off them is actually the price of them. They're quite expensive, and you can get sort of cheap knockoff copies from eBay for like a tenth of the price. But anyway, I've bitten the bullet. I've bought myself a pair of bar end mirrors, and this video is all about having a look at that product and seeing how we get them fitted. So stay tuned. Let's check out the bar end mirrors for the Street Triple. So as always, let's check out what you get then for your 85 quid. Before that, you get this this little box, and in it you get one of these. You've got the fixing componentry, which includes some blanking plates, which go into where the original mirrors fix. So that's quite useful. They do supply those, and also there's a little sort of bar end that they clamp to, and then the mirror itself, which comes well wrapped, as you would hope. In this case, looks like this. They make a couple of different types of these, but these are the ones I've gone for. Here we go. Now these mirrors aren't handed, so you can fit them on either side. As you can see, they've got Triumph branding on them, so that looks great. And it's again on either side, so you can flip the mirror over, mount it on either side of the machine. And of course, you do need two. So 85 quid each, quite an expensive proposition. And as I say, you can get cheap versions on eBay. They're not made as well, and you know, personally, I think if you're going to go for it, you might as well go for the real thing, but that's down to personal choice. Okay, so there we are, that's what you get. You do get some instructions as well, so I'll just quickly read those and then we'll go ahead and see how we fit them. So, having fully unpacked both mirrors now and just laid everything out, first thing I discover on reading the instructions is the fact that they don't give you the instructions. You have to go to www.triumphinstructions.com and print them out. So, because I've done this sort of thing before, not read instructions and then regretted it, I'm going to go and print those out. So bear with me for a moment. I'm going to go and print out the instructions, read them, and then we'll crack on. Okay, so here we are, now armed with the correct 5 pages of printed out Triumph instructions. It's going to be 5 pages just to fit some mirrors. Anyway, nothing in there that you wouldn't expect, I'm glad to say. But anyway, always better safe than sorry when it comes to reading these things. So first thing is to remove the original mirrors. Very straightforward. Just lift these rubber gaiters and undo these nuts. Now, thing is, I haven't actually got a spanner rather big enough to undo these, so I'm going to have to resort to the old faithful adjustable and just loosen these off. Okay, actually that wasn't very tight at all. Completely remove her. There we go. And now the same on the other side. Now on this side, of course, you've got the brake fluid reservoir, so you've got to be a bit careful when you undo it that you don't, you know, let this tip over or anything or get brake fluid anywhere. So just bear that in mind when you're doing this. Actually, that brake fluid reservoir is held on by the top nut, so there's no danger yet. Okay, and in fact that's part of the mirror, so the bottom nut's got to come off as well. Let me just show you that a bit closer. Okay, so here we are on the side of the brake reservoir. You can see that actually the base of the mirror is what kind of holds this bracket on that holds the brake reservoir in place. So just make sure that when you take that off, the brake reservoir stays put. And that is, you need to keep hold of that because if you ever want to put the mirrors back, obviously you're going to need it. And then just to hold that in place, In the kit they do supply you one of these Allen bolts just to pop back in there, just to hold that in place. Okay, and then just tighten it up with an Allen key according to the instructions. 25 Newton meters is what that needs, which my fingertips tell me is about that. Perfect. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. Right, let's look at the next bit, which is actually fitting the mirrors. Now in my case, I've already fitted on the end of the Street Triples handlebars these R&G crash sliders and bar end weights. So in my case, I just need to take these off, so it's another Allen key job. So sadly, I'm not going to be using these anymore, because the mirrors come with their own bar ends to replace these effectively. I'll just keep these safe in case I want to eBay them or fit them at a later date. Okay, and then to fit the replacement bar end, there's a little one of these anti-slip washers that you put on, and then we just pop that back in to replace. And the new mirror is actually going to grip around this. We just wind that in. There we go. And again, careful not to over tighten it, but it's just aluminium fixings, and it'd be quite easy to strip those threads, and then you're in a whole world of pain. Okay, great. And then just move the grip to the end. Good, there's our new bar end. Okay, so just before I fit the actual mirror on, I mentioned the kit supplies you with these little blanking plates to go in where you took the original mirrors off. So I'll just pop that in there. These can be quite fiddly, I know, from doing this sort of thing before. So just a rubber face or plastic face mallet, knock that into place. There you go, just neatens that up. And then all that's left is to fit the mirror itself, which just slides over the bar end. I'm going to have these initially facing outboard like that. You can obviously have them facing inboard as well if you want. But that simply does up with this, another Allen bolt. Like so. There we go. Right, I'll just pop the one on the other side, then we'll see what you look like. Okay, so there's the little bar end in on this side. Now, of course, this is the throttle side, so you've got to make sure that you leave a gap between the mirror and the bar end itself, so obviously your throttle doesn't get stuck. So that's the only thing to be careful of. Okay, there we go. Make sure the throttle moves. Make sure we're not stopping everything. Good. So there we are. That's both bar end mirrors fitted. That's the sort of finished look. I think it looks really good. I hope you agree. I'm going to try them outboard like that to start with and see how I get on, and depending on what the visibility is like, I might turn them inboard. So just a reminder then for the sort of before and after look. Here's what it looked like before, which is fine, and here's the other side. And there's the bar end mirror fitted after. And even if you don't actually like the look of them so much, I have to say they're a much better manufactured part. They look well made. And just for completeness, is the other side. Nicely made bits of kit. Whether they're worth the money remains to be seen. Be interested to see how they work in action. So there we are, folks. That's the Triumph bar end mirrors fitted. I hope you like the look of them. I think I do. And they seem like they fit in a natural place. So looking forward to getting out and riding on it now and seeing how they go. So hope that's been of some interest to you. Look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Missenden Flyer. Cheerio.